Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 21 Days Spiritual Fitness Challenge from Silicon Valley Brahma Kumaris. I'm Meghna, your host for this week. A warm and hearty welcome to this program. We are on day 5, um, working on the emotional deficiency anger and discussing a lot of knowledge, which is nothing but vitamins for this deficiency. And we've also been doing meditation and which is pretty much exercise for the mind that helps in digesting the vitamin better. So we will continue our discussion on anger today, but let's start off with a meditation. I'll go ahead and play some music. it's time to get some real rest for the mind and the body. So, just for a few minutes, withdraw from the world of drama. Let go of home, work, people, past. And let's connect to the most precious being, I, the soul. Where do I come from? Where am I heading towards? How long have I been traveling? And what do I want from life? I come from the land of silence. Nirvana. I am a pure, clean, and conscient energy. I am eternal and imperishable light. I have always been around. All I want from life is peace, love, and happiness. And I, the fortunate being, was sent with everything that I needed within me in the journey of life. I forgot that peace is within me. Through my thoughts and pure feelings, I can emerge peace that exists within me. I just need to reach out. I am a fortunate and blessed being. All right, welcome once again to the 21-day spiritual fitness challenge. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. So just wanted to make a quick announcement that we do have very interesting class going on parenting, shifting from stressful to peaceful parenting. It's important to ask, are we sustaining the kids through stress, or are we sustaining them with peace and love, right? So most welcome to join this class. All classes offered by Brahma Kumaris are free. Right there, you will see the our address svbrahmakumaris.org. We also have Living Values kids classes. They are also available for free. They're both on Sundays, parenting classes from 2 to 3, and the kids classes actually from 10:30 to 11:30. And then we also have a webinar tomorrow from noon to 1 p.m. Healing begins when hurting ends. Many times we find it very hard to deal with bitter words coming from our own family members. Does it mean that we end up living only with hurt and pain? Or do we have a different option? It's very difficult to get rid of bitter words said between close members. So, this webinar will talk about that. We also have Raj Yoga meditation course, highly recommended. My life changed for good after this course. We have multiple options starting tomorrow. English one from 6 to 11, 6 to 7 p.m., sorry, and Hindi and Gujarati 10 to 11 a.m. So please, if you are interested, highly encourage you to sign up. These are all the things coming over the weekend at your doorstep. All right, so getting into the topic anger, uh, today we are going to focus really on what do we do, when we are working with certain people, when we are involved, when we are either their mentor, their parent, or their manager, or their colleague, and their work is either very poor quality, or they are slacking, or their behavior is not appropriate. So what do we do when we are responsible? So just taking an example, random example, suppose your child has an exam or a test coming up, and a big one coming up in 2 days. And you've told your child to be well prepared and study and all of that. And you catch the child actually playing some video games or something, right? So the child did not listen, is not doing the work they're supposed to study. What do you do? One option is to really start yelling at the child, top of your voice. And, we feel that it's my love that is causing me to get angry. I am helping the child by yelling at them. That is when they get it. That is when they will change. If I don't get mad at them, they will continue watching video games. So we also call anger a form of love. And it is something, again, a very convoluted logic, that how can anger and love coexist? So we feel we are helping our child by yelling at them. So imagine you went and yelled at the child, you are not going to be anything in your life. You are such a dumbo. How can you not read for your test and play video games? You're going to get a zero in the test. You have already failed a lot. You're going to fail even more. I'm not here entire life to support you. What will you do once I'm not there? And we keep calling the child multiple names, yell, yell, yell. And now we threaten, you better study and never watch that video game again. I'm out of the room. The parent is out of the room. The child is left in the room. Now, is this child going to be able to absorb anything from the books after he's been yelled by the parent, has been called all kinds of names, that you might never ever succeed, that you are a dumbo, you are a fool, you are a cheater? Now, does this child who's been yelled so much now actually feel like, can he concentrate on the book? The one that he looks up to the most, his parents, they've given up on the child. Has this yelling improved his confidence in himself? So we need to think about the methods we are using to get people to do work. Yes, this child, because is now so scared of the yelling and maybe even concerned about the future. He's now very scared about his future. He's scared about upsetting his parent. So yes, he will put his head in the book. But what will go inside is a big question mark. So, what are our options? Now, let's take another example at work. Suppose there is someone who's slacking off at work. You are responsible for this project. It's an important project. Say you are the program manager and you have a member who's slacking. Or maybe he or she's not slacking, but they are constantly not giving us high quality work. Now, do we start micromanaging and maybe even using our not so respectful voice towards them? In US, it's hard to get away with all that. In other countries, even in US, I've heard some places people do yell at each other at work. Very strange, but they do. So now, can what do I do? Is that the option, that constantly micromanage? How much energy will I drain of my own if I have to micromanage and do my own work also? And will this person change? So anger really does not give us any kind of long term solution. It's a very bandaged fix of fixing the temporary problem, but we do have an alternative option. If we think about it very deeply, really, we are not helping others when we yell. Imagine that child who got yelled at. This child is not being helped. Yes, he stopped playing video game and is very scared. But is he able to absorb the content of the book better? Really questionable. And anger is not because the child played video games. The anger is really because they disobeyed us. If anger was due to love, first of all, we would never use anger if it was love. We would figure out ways to help the child if we really loved them. This is a very kind of like quick, I'm not going to do anything to help you. All I can do is yell. Now you help yourself and out of there. Not even trying to understand why, what, nothing. Just yell at the child. You better figure it out. This is not helping. Forcing someone to do something that they are not liking without even understanding why they are not liking, why they are not responsible, just pushing our opinion on them. This is again that ego which is saying, I, the parent, told you and you didn't obey. So the anger is at the disobedience. It is not really trying to fix the child's issue of why is the child interested in video games and not study. It's not trying to solve that. The only thing it solved is, hey, I am the parent. You're supposed to listen to me. So, yes, the ego got satisfied that, now I taught my child not to disobey. So, we need to check if I really love. Whatever I did, was that enough? Because we cover up a lot of things in the name of love. And indeed, it decreases the person's confidence when they get yelled at. At work, if you're constantly doubting somebody's abilities, if you don't trust them at all and you're trying to control them to do things exactly your way, you're constantly nagging them for every update, then that person is not really comfortable in making any change. So, anger really attacks the person and not the work. It's not trying to fix the issue related to work or behavior. It is very quick decision making. This person only is wrong. So, start abusing the person, take away their honor. This is what anger really does. So let's contemplate about this in meditation. Let me bring up an incident where I was yelled by somebody or scolded by somebody. Did it feel nice? Or did you want others to understand you and forgive you? We expect our family members, our friends, our dear ones, to understand us and help us with our issues. Sometimes we are not even ready. We are not even ready to be helped. We continue to make the same mistakes. Yet we want our family members to understand our weakness and support us. Love is every being's core need. We want to be respected, accepted the way we are, and to be forgiven for the mistakes made. Love heals, transforms, and uplifts others. Anger is the exact opposite. It attacks, it punishes, and abuses. It takes away the pride of others. I acknowledge anger is a violent and uncomfortable emotion. It is foreign to me. I am naturally loving and peaceful. Now, coming to solutioning, indeed, the child's behavior was not right. They were supposed to study. It was their responsibility to study. As a student, it is child's responsibility to study, and as a parent, my responsibility is to see how I can help the child succeed in life, do good in every sphere. How do I raise a well balanced child? So, yes, as a parent, I can't neglect and ignore and forgive. Well, not forgive, but forget everything that the child is doing. Forgiving, yes, we should always, but forget, no, we don't need to forget. We don't need to ignore. That would be a careless parent who ignores a child's video watching during exam. So what do we do? Yes, if it is the first time that we caught the child, then yes, we need to sit with them and try and understand why would they have done what they did. Before even we go to the child asking them, suppose I am feeling a lot of anger raging inside of me, it might good to be not even talking at that time and just tell the child, hey, can you please stop? We will talk about this in some time, but please for now stop the video watching and start studying. I will talk to you a bit later. And then maybe when we take few breath of fresh air, then we go to the child back again and ask them, what happened? Why were they watching, the video game or whatever that was? Why were they playing? And maybe the child comes up with bunch of reasoning and so on, that they were just taking a break and that they were not. So whatever, right? As a parent, we can understand when they are making excuses and when they are saying the truth. Suppose it's a bunch of excuses and we feel that they might have been playing for a long time. Then we need to ask them this question that, but you still have exams coming up. If you had to take a break, why didn't you let us know that we asked you to study? And if you were going to take these breaks, and sometimes when you're playing video game, you don't understand. So if you had to take the break, why didn't you let us know? Then maybe the child comes and speaks up and says, whatever that exam is, he's already done, or he doesn't need to study, or he's not liking it. The whole idea is to understand why the child did what they did. It could be that the child actually is really done studying. Maybe then we can just question them and see if they are ready. Or it's possible that the child just doesn't get it. Maybe he needs extra help. Maybe he needs the parent to stay with them and help them a little bit in studying. Or maybe we need to explain to them, not maybe during that time, but later time, the importance of doing well in your tests. So once we understand why they did what they did, we need to accept their behavior. It doesn't mean that, you know yes, there are variety of behaviors in this world and we might not agree with it. We would have, for example, never done that, although that is also a big question mark, that sometimes it's possible even in our childhood we might have not studied and done something else. So it's good to always check, am I perfect? Don't I also have some areas of opportunity? And as a child, the child will certainly go through many things that, fallbacks and things like that. So I, as a parent, is there as a guide and mentor to help them walk the right path. But I do need to, bottom line, understand that each one's way of thinking is very different. And in this world, if we look at the work example, there are a variety of people with different personality, and that personality is developed as as a part of their culture, their upbringing, many different factors. So I need to create a bunch of thoughts that will allow me to accept their behavior instead of expect. Exact antidote of expectation is acceptance. Yes, my expectations are the child should study. The reality is the child does not want to study. I need to accept it at that particular moment, that there is a reason behind why the child chose to do this. And as a parent, my then next step is to, what can I do to help the child go back to understanding the importance of doing well in test? How do I encourage the child to come to that path? Just yelling and walking away and expecting the child to get it might not really actually ever work. You are day by day taking away the confidence of the child. How does such a child become independent and start studying by themselves? So, creating a bunch of thoughts that, after all, it is a child. They will try all these things because everybody else in their class is also doing this. I, as a parent, need to discipline the child bit more, maybe create more strict rules about when to use the gadgets and things like that. So, the variety of different things towards accepting the child's behavior. Acceptance automatically generates peace and love. We can have a bunch of expectations that we want. Reality doesn't need to match with expectation. But when I say I can be happy only when my expectation is met, then I will get angry. And we tend to have high expectations from our close family members, and that is why loud yelling also happens with close family members. So we need to understand that even though the child is my child, they are a soul. They have their own personality trait that traveled with them from previous births. It's not like you caught the child in clean slate. So, yes, as a parent, I need to help the child get in the right track, but I need to first accept that as a child, They will go through variety of different phases, but with love and discipline, balance of both, I will work towards solution. So love means I have accepted my child. I still maintain hope on my child. I think my child is wonderful. They will do well in life. What is discipline? Right now, their act of watching videos during test was not right. So I need to discipline by understanding what caused them not to study. So maybe because the test is so nearby and I as a parent really love my child and want the child to do well, maybe I sit with them with lot of love and care, help them through the test and studying, try to make it fun and interesting, get the child maybe some extra coaching to help them out, and then at a later stage talk to them that if this continues for some more time, if we keep catching you watching video games, we will maybe cut it off completely for a week. That would be your punishment. So we still love the child, we are still interacting with the child, we are not withdrawn ourselves, so our love is flowing to the child, but yet there is a disciplinary action that your gadget will be gone or your internet connection will be gone, whatever that is. We will do that. But love also tries to help. Does the child need extra coaching? Does the child need my help? And so on. So, acceptance is very important. With that, let's practice that in our meditation. I am an actor and I'm performing many roles on this enormous stage, the world drama. Day to day, I meet a variety of actors. Each one is doing their role with the best of their abilities. They are trying their best. And since it's a variety drama, we are all different. And in spite of these differences, our core need, each one of us, our core need is love, peace, and happiness. So, with open arms, I accept the variety behavior in people, and with love and discipline, I mentor, coach, or help them transform their incorrect behavior. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Hope you have a good evening.